Good day and welcome to the Boom Bar on Boom Radio NG. My name is Shola Rogers.
Good afternoon. From the one and only. I've not said that in a while. Oh, I missed it. Oh, hi. Good day. Good morning. Good afternoon. I don't know. I don't. The past few days I've been kind of a little bit kind of scared. I don't want to call a little agitated for the coming elections. But today, I actually feel very excited. I'm actually looking forward to it. Like, I'm kind of like, can we just let it go and let it come and go? Like, I'm actually really excited for this elections. Hello once again. Good day, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. From wherever you're listening to me from. My name is Ola Delpa, the one and only. And I'm right here to give you all the gist. Available from now till 4 p.m. Thank you very much. Catch you later. Bye.
Yes, and again, if you are wondering, what's this about? It is really about the things that we like to call music, sports, politics, and everything in between. And it is election season in Nigeria. We're talking a lot about the 2023 elections. It seemed like a lifetime away 4 years ago, but it's
or
here.
even a few months ago, it looked like it was not going to, but it's definitely here. There are a lot of people talking about it. I think I read a statement from the President of the United States talking about Nigerian elections, like whether we like it or not, Nigerian elections affect not just Nigeria or Nigerians. It affects the West Africa, affects Africa, and actually affects the whole world as a whole. So it is the most populous black nation in the world. There's a whole lot. Is one of the oil producing countries. It's really there's a lot that has to do with Nigeria and the whole world. So yes, and the political atmosphere of Nigeria is very, very, very important. And on that note, we're going to be talking a lot of politics. Yes, obviously. There's a few entertainment and sports stories that we're going to chip in. But before we go there, I wanted to talk about something, the news that broke yesterday, and this is a bit of economics. This is Nigeria's GDP. And I think that is worthy of note. Why I said so is that yes, there's a story that the Nigeria's GDP dropped to 3.1, which is very interesting. Yeah, I'm not surprised. It is, how do I say it now? With a lot of things that happened all over the world and in Nigeria for the past year, it's not completely surprising. But the one that I felt very what's the word now? Happy about. Yeah? Really happy about. And we've been seeing that trend for about a year or two now. And we saw a lot of it with the ICT sector, where we saw how statistics came out to say that it was literally that sector that pulled Nigeria out of recession. Yeah, very, very fantastic. It's good news to see that everything is not all about oil and gas anymore. And according to the Nigeria Bureau of Statistics now, according to this, the quarter four of 2022, the highest contributor to Nigeria's GDP is agriculture with 25.58%. I think that is worthy of note. I think it's a major achievement.
Yes, it is actually, and of course, funny enough, there are divergent views about it, which is the beauty of democracy and life. But there is a stat that similar to that one, and contributor to the Nigerian economy.
I think that is really amazing. Who would ever have thought a day would come? According to the statistics now, there's agriculture that's contributed 25.58%, information and communication 16.52%, trade 16%, manufacturing 8.91%, oil and gas 5.67. Who would have thought that oil and gas would go as low as the 5th contributor to Nigerian economy? I think that it is. I think it's amazing, especially when we're at a point where the whole world is trying to move off that. The idea of diversifying our economy. I think we're at that point now.
A guy called at Call Me Josie says, no wonder we've been begging every government that wants to listen since 2015. They messed up the oil sector. This is how one person says, the emergence of other sectors as major contributors to the Nigerian economy. Another person called CMO QEFC says the reason why there has been unprecedented unemployment levels since 2015, agriculture does not create much jobs. In fact, the UK produce about 80% of their food with just less than 5% of their population. Same with Netherlands, Israel. Nigeria has become an agrarian economy.
I don't agree with that.
Yeah, and
I do not agree with that.
The sad part about that statistics that this person CMO whatever QEFC underscore QEFC has put there is that you downplay the importance of the value chain of agriculture.
Exactly,
when you talk about the agricultural value chain, it's actually something that will create so many jobs. If you take it from the back, which is the end user, you and me, the people who buy and consume the food, then you go back to the people who sell as retailers, then the wholesalers,
in fact,
the transporters,
it is
the storage people,
the middlemen that the processing that we really didn't used to do before, and we have now come to see that processing line that we don't, as we seem to export raw materials, it is that processing that there is a lot of money in.
Exactly. So
why I honestly don't think that there are a lot of countries that their GDP, their economy is based really on agriculture.
Another Twitter user at Dozy_Dozy22 said, so where exactly is this continued rising food inflation coming from? Again, people fail to realize one thing. We're talking about contributing to the economy. And it's beyond consumption alone. It's beyond what Nigerians eat. We're talking about exportation also. The value that comes into the economy when we ship, agricultural products out. That's also what we're talking about, apart from the domestic sales that have been generated. Then, whenever you make an inference to how inflation is a global thing, you start to get all sorts of pushbacks and things. But you cannot say that your country is in isolation of what's happening in and around the world. Someone said, this is at Fabulous Army, says, in 2015, oil prices crashed to an all-time low of $25 per barrel. So Buhari didn't really have nothing to do, for revenue from agriculture to jump to the top of the list. It's simple maths. Oil prices fell so low that even our meager agricultural revenues overtook oil revenues. These are all Nigerians tweeting.
I think that this just comes off how a lot of people do not understand how the system works. Do I agree with this? I totally am elated that we're moving our economy from oil and gas. And what happens with the issue of oil and gas is the fact that it is also such a very volatile market. Take, for example, the minute the Ukraine-Russian war started, it took a major hit.
Oh, yeah.
The minute COVID came, the oil market took a major hit. Jonas, any little thing literally takes a hit.
Yeah.
So why do we want to keep our economy on with such a very uncertain?
Yeah, like you said, it's very volatile. Then not only that, you also realize that the world is moving away from fossil fuels.
So what happens by the time there's nobody to sell these things to anymore?
In 20 to 30 years, oil will be a hard sell. It will be a hard sell because a lot of countries have already passed laws projecting that far that as at that time, a lot of vehicles will be hybrid or running on clean fuel and clean energy. And these are the things that we need to start. And meanwhile, Nigeria is so blessed that we also have all those materials in large commercial quantity. But regardless of who's going to take the credit for this, we as Nigerians need to look at it and say we need to do more. Someone referred to how it could have been better if there was security, and I agree completely with the person. Like, if there was no insurgency and any of these other crazy things that's actually affected us as a people and as a country, we'll probably even have better results. And again, thumbs up to all the players in the information and communications subsector. The unicorns that you hear about, companies that are worth $1 billion and above, are bringing it to bear. All the grants that are coming through and the investments that are coming into Nigeria is actually reflected now, in the economy. It's just that it doesn't trickle down the way people want it to. But I believe that these are just things that in a matter of time it will get better. It's interesting how real estate and oil and gas are at par. 5.67 and 5.64. This is interesting.
It's very good though. That's what I just say. As much as yes, the GDP has reduced. I would. I think it's really honestly beautiful to see what is happening at the moment. The fact that ICT, we know that ICT is a major thing in Nigeria, and it is contributing so much to our GDP. That's the world is moving into that now. So if it looks like we're moving in the direction of the world, so that's very good though. But I think that a lot of people need to inform themselves better.
All right.
Quickly, let's move on from that. And I think that we're going straight into a lot of political issues now, starting from the fact that President Buhari, former President Goodluck Jonathan, former head of state Abdulsalam has urged presidential candidates to accept the outcome of 2023 elections. You're about to say something?
No, it's in line with what you're saying. We have a comment on YouTube. That's why I was trying to catch your attention.
Hi, Francis Odum. It's always crunch time. Yeah. Do you have your PVC? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. We probably will be at work.
Yeah.
But do we have PVCs? Oh, yeah. It's not even now. The PVC was not even right now. Oh, yes. Exactly. Anyway, so I think that these people are probably people in the what's the word now? They are in the right place to be able to say President Buhari had lost 3 elections before he became president. President Goodluck Jonathan was actually a sitting president when he lost an election. Yeah, and he's probably one of the most talked about presidents in Nigeria ever for actually conceding. It was said that he had even called President Buhari before it was announced officially at that point. So I feel that these are people that, yes, they can actually say these things and they're worthy of saying it. The former head of state, General Abdulsalam, was the one that actually he was one that handed over to former President Olusegun Obasanjo then. So yes, I think these people really can come up and advise people. They're in the right place to advise people that it is time to actually let things go. And the honest truth is that once you're going into a contest, there can only be one winner. So it's not the idea of accepting defeat, but just always have your back. As much as you want to win, there is in Nigeria's case now, there are 18 people. So there's a 1 in 18% chance that you would win, which makes the probability not looking very favorable. Do you get?
Yeah.
So that at this point, any right-thinking presidential candidate should have it at the back of their mind that I might not win.
Yes. As we have this discussion, there's a bit of breaking news, but we are just going to mention it.
Yeah, I saw it earlier.
We're going to mention it, so I'll wait for the report to mention it. But there's a bit of breaking news. But we're talking about the peace accord signing by all the presidential candidates, their party chairmen, and of course, at an event that had the presence or the goodwill messages of former Nigerian leaders. The convener or the leader of this group is a man that did something that people felt was impossible. Retired General Abdul Salami, then a general, became the leader or ruler of Nigeria. And within the space of 1 year.
Francis Odo says, I beg, shut down for a few hours and go vote. Every vote counts.
Yeah. we might work out something like that.
We might actually work out something.
You know? So, General Abdul Salami conducted the election that brought the transition from military to civilian rule. And a lot of people felt that it was a joke, that the military were not going to leave.
They were not going to leave.
And he did. He left under a year and a few months or so. He was gone. Now, for Goodluck Jonathan, I would forever respect him. Seeing that as a sitting president, he got the results before anybody else. That, look, the results are not favorable. And it was said that it was rumored. And you can see it in the video of one of his agents, his party agents, who actually created some kind of drama in public. Orubebe.
He was not going to.
They were not. So that would have been the thing. Like if Orubebe had gotten his way and a lot of other PDP people, Goodluck Jonathan would not have made the call.
Yeah,
but he picked this phone, called then contender Buhari and said, "Congratulations."
Yeah.
That set the tone
for a lot of things. I think that from that moment onward, it will be. It's just leadership.
So you notice that I skipped President Buhari because I know that there was a time when he lost and it led to some riots and breakdown of law and order. So I'm not going to talk about how he had lost elections and whatever. I'm just going to talk about the man he has become now, which is the man that is trying to organize a free and fair elections. But we will not know until the results come out and the way everything is handled. So, for me, Goodluck Jonathan, respect. Abdul Salami, massive respect. Buhari has to earn his own respect. Now, in that place, I'm glad that there was Peter Obi, there was Showore, Atiku, Tinubu, and those were the top contenders anyway. But there were other people. There was Kwankwaso there too. All seated there. All signing that document. Now the prayer is that they take this news to their people and let it be a standing order. Let nobody
try anything.
Break the law. You win, congratulations. You lose,
better luck next time.
Because whoever wins is going to rule our country.
It's not just the party. It's
so
the
peace,
country.
Peace. Election, not war. Election, not war.
Okay. Quickly before we go on with everything else we are going on with, there's a bit of breaking news as the Finnish police have officially arrested Biafra's separatist leader Simon Ekpa over his threats of no elections in Nigeria. We know that from Finland here, there's been a lot of back and forth. There's been a lot of talks from him. This reminds us of how Nnamdi Kanu did too until he was arrested and brought back to Nigeria. Now there are pictures of him. They're saying that he's been fingered as the arrowhead of several killings by unknown gunmen in the southeast region. Now he's saying that he's now been He was appointed to replace Nnamdi Kanu following the rearrest of the IPOB leader, and now he was picked up from his apartment in Lahti region in Finland by officials of the Finnish Central Criminal Police this morning.
You know, again, we always refrain from doing breaking news because you try to verify, but we've checked a lot of sources, and
Oh yeah,
it's there's a picture of him actually
being arrested,
escorted by people who are in plain clothes. They seem to be like Interpol, and Interpol is actually trending on Twitter now in Nigeria as is number 2 trend as we speak. Only yesterday did the same person, Simon Ekpa, tweet about the 5 days of no voting that he had declared.
As what?
I've always wondered how
Like, as what?
we think as a people. You know, the man is in the safety of his apartment in Finland, and he gets on the internet and makes pronouncements that, you know, makes life really difficult for many people. We had this discussion off air. We didn't even know this was going to happen today. I said it's unfair that people might not get to vote because some guy somewhere feels that he has powers.
Yeah, he has powers and he can just do and undo.
There are videos making the round. Some people say they are old, but they are actually new. When you listen to what they are saying, that the IPOP guys are going around shouting no elections, and all of that, you know. And how do we claim that we've, you know, voted in the best or the most popular candidate if people get disenfranchised? You know? Now, beyond the elections and the sit-at-home orders, I hope this will put an end to the sit-at-home Mondays that the East has been going through.
I hope this arrest does, because on the flip side, it could also cause some form of rancor at the moment. I just feel that the Nigerian police and the Nigerian army needs to move into that area right now so as to quell a lot of any agitation that can happen. Is it good news? I feel that this is good news. We cannot continue to allow... The most insulting part of it is the fact that we're dealing with someone or some set of people that are not in Nigeria, do not bear the brunt of things that happen. The security situation in the Northeast, the economic situation in the Northeast, you don't bear the brunt, you don't have any business. And the same thing that happened with Nnamdi Kanu as well. But you keep making pronouncements, depriving people of their livelihoods, of their right to move around freely, their security, but you're not even here. If you want to fight for them, shouldn't you be here with them?
One of the stories that we're looking at is the assassination of the senatorial candidate of the Labour Party in the East. I think is it in Anambra also? Anambra or Enugu, right? And there's been a lot of that. A few weeks ago, we saw, I think it was a commissioner or a chairman of a local government in Imo State that was beheaded, right? Nothing has come out of it. Nobody was arrested. Nothing has really happened. Then, again, there are reports of gunmen, who have abducted the wife of a late king in Amuro, I think is in Imo State. Amuro Autonomous Community. They didn't stop at abducting the woman. Then they went to the house of the chairman of Labour Party in that ward. They went to the house of the chairman of APC in that ward and, destroyed their houses, burnt them, and did all of that. Luckily for the Labour Party person, he wasn't at home when that happened, but we don't know what happened at the APC chairman's home. These are innocent Nigerians who are going about their daily jobs and who are supporting their candidates. When I see a lot of Nigerians from the eastern part of Nigeria actually get political, I worry for them, regardless of the party. because we've
The
seen
story
we've
is,
seen videos.
would people vote?
We've actually seen people being dealt with for attending rallies or driving around or walking about with branded items
I know that a
and
lot
all
of
of that.
people. Yeah, it's interesting. A lot of people
So I
are.
hope this is going to,
This is going to
change
really
things
change a
for.
lot of things. I think it should have been done earlier, but whatever it is, these things need to stop, and it needs to stop now. Some human being cannot just come and then just be ordering people around. That look, we're talking about a whole region, a whole region. You cannot. Who are you? I
And
hope he's brought back to Nigeria quickly and speedily.
and with the video evidence that they have against him, I think this guy is going to be in for a long time.
His social media page alone would already nails a lot of nonsense that that people like that are going through. Anyway, quickly, INEC, I wanted to make a statement where the Independent National Electoral Commission has now said that if you do not have a PVC, there's nothing you're doing around a polling unit.
Don't even go there.
Don't go there.
I was with some people yesterday, and someone had a PVC. The other person couldn't get ours at the filling station. We're having this discussion, and the guy that got his PVC was telling, "Oh, do you have the printout from the online transfer that you did?" She said she has it. I said, "Oh, go and vote. That you should take the printout, and show it to them, and they will let you vote."
Wait, she doesn't have a PVC.
Yeah, she couldn't get her PVC.
So what's the printout supposed to do?
That's what the person was telling
it's
her.
what are you slot into the beaver's machine, I mean.
That's what the person was telling her. And I couldn't.
I always be quiet.
I tried, but my voice was not strong enough, so I just had to let it go. Like, okay, feel it, bear. Let's leave it.
Because I don't get it. Like, wait. When they say, because do people know that
People are writing those things on social media.
do people know? Maybe it's time to put it out there. What they call accreditation for people that have never voted, which there's probably going to be a large chunk of people that never or do not understand how it works, is that you are supposed to. There is a machine that kind of, I think, looks like a POS.
Yeah.
That's the Beaver's machine. Yeah, where you are supposed to slot in
Your card.
PVC, and then your
Biometrics,
which is your fingerprint. So your fingerprint is supposed to accredit the card that you have. True or true?
Yeah.
So how do you say that a printout, meaning that something printed on paper? Last I checked, the cards that we're talking about are like ATM cards.
Yes,
yeah?
they're plastic cards. So
those plastic cards
with chips and stuff.
So what's the printout? The paper.
Well, that's what.
Like,
so we're just trying to create a little bit more awareness. It's our job to let you know.
Let's be.
That INEC has said it, and we're going to reiterate it.
People,
if you do not have a PVC,
there's nothing you're looking.
Don't even go there.
I get it that
Don't.
we're trying to they say that let your vote count, but remember, let your vote.
You didn't vote.
You
so
didn't
don't
vote,
don't go
so
there.
you don't have a vote. You don't have a say in this matter. The minute you don't vote, you do not have a say, and that's the honest truth. It might sound cruel, but that's the honest truth. They say let your vote, your own vote. Once you cannot vote, sit in your house, please.
That's what it is.
Don't overcrowd these places, and at the end of the day. Quickly before as we're going, the sad story that you had talked about earlier, that the one of the Enugu East senatorial candidate of the Labour Party had was murdered. Now the Labour Party has come to talk about it. A lot of people, even a PDP senator I read a statement talking about it from Enugu. He had talked about it as well. A lot of people have come out to condemn the act. Now, Labour Party is asking the Independent National Electoral Commission to postpone the election in Enugu East Senatorial District to enable it conduct fresh primaries.
Yes, I once again would like to, issue my own condolences too and say, yeah, it's actually very sad that someone gets to experience this kind of terrible act. And I hope and really, really hope that the perpetrators are brought to book, that they are really arrested and paraded and, sentenced. However, we should do things by the law. So if the law or the Electoral Act says that if someone dies before the election or is killed before the election will be postponed, then let it be so.
Let it be so. But if not,
remember that on Monday, an House of Rep member in the north,
an NMPP,
the NMPP,
I think it was Kano.
Yeah, also died. We've had other cases like that. Sadly, we've had about 3 or 4 similar cases.
Remember, if we cast what's it called back all the way to
Kogi
the
State.
case of Kogi State. Remember, Governor Yaya Bello was not the original candidate for the APC.
But I do not recall the elections being postponed.
That's what I'm saying. So
it might be difficult. It might be a tough one for.
I think that at this point, because it is they're voting for whoever wants to vote is voting for Labour Party. I honestly think that the election should still go on. Whoever is going to vote for Labour Party is voting.
So you think in retrospect they can now go back and pick someone?
And just pick somebody else. Which, remember that whoever it is that wins, that's if they win. Because even if they win, whoever it is in that senatorial district still has till May 29th. So I think there's still time for the Labour Party to still pick somebody else, election or not. If whatever it's the outcome of the election is, those votes still remain with the Labour Party.
Well, if that's the case, then they probably wouldn't need to ask for a postponement. But, it's still very sad that this is the discussion that we're having at a time like this.
Yeah, it is very, 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 very sad. But, it is what it is. Also, with talking about a lot of violence, I saw where there's story that the Osun State speaker of the Osun State narrowly escaped assassination, where the premises of his premises and other residences of the All Progressives Congress members in the state were attacked. Also, the PDP had said that 2 of its members were shot dead on Tuesday after its rally in Elisha. That is very sad. That's coming from Osun State. That's not a very, very good report coming from that place just a few days to the elections.
Osun is actually, becoming a hotbed of violence. If you notice, there was a time when a video was trending on Twitter that the youth leader of one of the parties was abducted. In the video, you see where it was stopped on the road and put on a bike and everything. And eventually, the guy turned out to be dead or something, yeah? And the different parts of it. There was a video again of another party member in another party saying, urging people to shoot at people and whatever.
Yeah, I'm happy.
I think the police responded.
Yes, I'm happy that this is the courts, the magistrate court in Port Harcourt, has remanded lawmaker representing Eche Omuma Federal Constituency in the House of Representatives, Honorable Ephraim Owuzi, to the Nigeria Correctional Center. Is also the APC candidate for that constituency. He was accused by the for inciting violence in a trending video. And at this point, I think that I'm happy this is happening.
Yes, sir.
Nobody is above the law, except if you have immunity, which sadly you don't. So, as a sitting, we've seen it. He's not the first National Assembly member that is in jail. Remember, there is one that is not even in Nigeria.
Yeah.
So, if you do things that are against the law, we've seen a sitting senator go to jail.
Yes.
For a few days because of something that's not even his business. Now that's something that there's even video evidence. I don't know what he was thinking about what was going on in his head. But whoever it is, whatever it is that he's doing, I think he deserves every single punishment.
Oh
he
yeah,
gets.
oh yeah. Because again, we claim we want a better country. We claim we want change. We want things to be different. But when we get a chance, we resort to the old ways. Like the wild, wild west, where Operation Wet here, houses are being burned, people are being attacked, and all of that. So now this person has stuck himself into a corner, and I honestly hope that the police would go all the way with him.
I really hope so. I really hope so. Anyway, also the Ogun State PDP has now demanded for the redeployment of the state DSS director over the mayhem that happened in Shagamu. They're saying that a lot of things the DSS should have known or should have been more proactive, and he doesn't deserve the job.
It's actually not funny because I'm angry at the fact that that senseless mob,
Very senseless. That's the word. Senseless is the word.
ended up
Because you put on to have
destroying
sense.
too many things. I am not happy that that has happened because the people of Shagam are going to hear it.
Yeah, they're definitely.
As we talk, they go hear them.
Yeah.
9 banks, where some parts of Nigeria, some people are saying that they have
one bank.
as much as 10 local governments without a single
bank. You now have banks, and then you decide to I don't know what.
So
I don't know what is.
But again, will it be the fault of the DSS if people resort to violence and all of that? The PDP, are calling for the redeployment or sack of the DSS. But what about even the law enforcement people themselves? What is good for the geese is good for the gander. Why don't you just go all the way?
In Ogun State, maybe if there was faster response time, maybe that mayhem would not be that much.
Yeah.
There wouldn't have been a bit that much. Anyway, still talking about a lot of things. Operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, maybe because of elections here, we've not heard a lot of them. Now, the idea again, as they stormed the Ujiogba Forest Reserve in Edo State, and they destroyed 7,286 kilograms of skunk and 5 hectares of its plantation.
You see, now, they're not even just catching people on the streets.
Yeah. The farms that where you put.
Or at the dispensaries. It's the farms,
that's a major thing.
The move is a good one. I hope they do more of this. If you know a little bit about all this illicit drugs and all the hard drugs and stuff, you understand why they are busting places in Edo. They need to extend it to Ondo, Oshun, and Delta.
Let me just keep quiet. Anyway,
especially is it Ogbomoso?
No,
Oshogbo is Oshogbo. It's Oshogbo. I'm sure there are farms around there that they need to visit.
Anyway, so an update from Enugu, as the Commissioner of Police from Enugu State is saying categorically that IPOP members were the one that killed the Enugu Labour Party senatorial candidate.
Wow. I really hope that they get arrested. We need to bring peace back to the Southeast. Like, seriously, people need to get on with their lives now. They need to get back to safety. The Amoro community, autonomous community that I was talking about, people actually had to leave, their community. They're afraid. The person who even spoke to the media spoke under anonymity. They're afraid. They're scared. Because even if the police comes or the soldiers come, they will leave at some point. And these gunmen will always come back.
Yeah.
These people who have killed this man, I hope they get arrested. I hope they really get, dealt with.
Exactly. Quickly, also still talking about a bit of updates. Now, there's been stories going around that banks are not going to be open for about 5 days. Remember we talked about the railway system that is going to be shut for, I think, 3 days. Now, the banks have come out to say, even the CBN has also come out to say that it will be business as usual, and that banks, nobody is closing anything.
The banks would close on Friday and resume on Monday. So please disregard all those messages. People have been sending all sorts of messages on WhatsApp and all of that, and Twitter and Facebook and all. So please disregard those messages.
Disregard all those
the banks will operate
as usual,
as usual. Actually,
let's stop with the
and people just like spreading. People like spreading information. Everybody feels like some kind of broadcast guru.
Yeah,
you just get one message,
and then with social media, you can just
don't ignore. Forward to all your contacts.
Okay. Anyway, before we leave the election, I just want to put out a few statistics now, and the one that we should be looking forward to is some states where we know that we're probably going to have some heavy numbers right now. According to INEC, Lagos State seems to have the highest number of registered voters, but does not mean that this state will probably have the highest number of voters. It depends on the amount of people that come out to vote.
And the number of people who got their PVCs.
But registered voters in Lagos as of today stands at 7.06 million registered voters.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
But it's not surprising. It's the highest number of...
We got barely 10% of that at the last election.
Yes, it was barely 1 million votes and all that. So yeah, we would. We're hoping that maybe Lagos State would turn up this time.
Turn up, guys.
Also, the next one is not surprising as well. Is all the way in the north west.
Must be Kano.
Yes, Kano. Kano has 5.9. Is also the second largest. With the second largest population in the country. So,
but they always have more voters.
That's the funny thing. They always have more voters than even Lagos. That's what you remember. That was what I was saying, that at times it's not about the number of registered voters; it's about the number of people that actually come out to vote. So, Kano State, as usual, they call them the KKK states. It's they're about 5.9 million registered voters there. Next one is Kaduna State. Kaduna State is currently has about 4.33 million voters.
That's a lot.
That's a lot as well. It's
that's a lot. The thing is, just picture a scenario where 50% of all these people vote.
Yeah.
50% of the people in Lagos, 50% of the people in Kano, Kaduna, Katsina, across Nigeria. Let's have a 50 something percent voter turnout. Please don't say I'm being pessimistic. I'm being realistic.
Yeah. It's very last elections, and what we can see with Kaduna is that there's a really high level of new voters in Kaduna State. I think they're about the fourth or fifth largest in 2019. Now they've moved up, they pushed that number up to the third. The one that was third earlier was Rivers State. Rivers is now on the fourth on that with 3.5 million registered voters. It's the only
that's a lot.
State in the South with the highest voting population. It's compared to a lot of other states in the South. Rivers State is not doing badly, and they also do not do badly.
They vote at the last election. They had over 1 million people voting.
They actually do not. Katsina, another of that, has about 3.5 million voters as well. The sixth one is Oyo State. Oyo State had about 2.93 million voters in 2019. Now they have about 3.2 million voters right now. At seventh stands at Delta State with a 3.2 million voters. It's not, they're not doing badly as well. Eighth is Plateau State with 2.7 million voters. Benue State has 2.7 also, and Bauchi State has about 2.7 as well.
All right. So you have heard now. This is a guide to the elections
Yeah,
on
we'll probably be
Saturday.
seeing a lot of numbers from these states.
These 10 states are the ones that have the most.
So I
Number
think
of
that
voters.
anybody that wants to win, other than the 25% in 2/3, or sorry, 2/3, yeah, 2/3 is more. If you're looking for popular votes, this place is.
You should be
those
winning
are
the bulk of these 10
of
states.
this 10 states. Okay, let's move on quickly from that, and let's move on to a story. Very, very interesting. Well, okay, let me just put this out there. Where remember Nipsey Hussle, the American rapper that was shot. Now, the person that shot him has now been sentenced to at least 60 years in prison.
Yeah. Eric Holder, right?
Yeah, Eric Holder.
I don't know. I know the world has moved on from capital punishment and certain punishments for this kind of crimes. You know, this Eric Holder guy actually shot him down in front of his business.
It was business, yeah.
And also shot other people, bystanders and all of that. He didn't care. He was after his man. Now, Eric will be on government-sponsored time in prison. He gets a free house, no rent. He gets food. He
Yeah.
gets clothing, nice orange jumpsuits or whatever
And
color.
somebody out there is dead.
But
You
the sad part
deprived
is,
a whole family.
you know, Nipsey is gone. Nipsey was a leader in his community. It was a guy who was
Well respected.
Yeah, was doing positive things.
Positive things in
Yeah,
his
and
environment.
was empowering people, you know, with his message and also with his money
His music.
and his music. Now, Eric Holder gets to spend 60 years if he lives that long. Justice to me has not been served, but I'll
It
take
is
this.
what it is.
I'll take this over, knowing that he probably
He's roaming around.
escaped and he's having the time of his life on the run.
Okay. Quickly, the European Commission has now asked their staff to delete social media app TikTok from all work appliances that they have. Now, basically, they're talking about some data breach that TikTok is used. We know that the app TikTok has been attached to this a few times.
A couple of times.
A couple of times. So now it's official. They've now been ordered to delete the app from mobile phones and corporate devices, including personal devices that use commission apps.
So, I got on TikTok because of Gary. Gary is Vaynerchuk, very, very smart social media man, you know, and he has a business worth millions of dollars. I just wanted to try it out. It was very interesting. And again, I got off TikTok when I saw another social media person saying, "Do you have TikTok on your phone? Delete it now." And the guy explained a lot of things, and I said, even if it's propaganda, because people are saying that
to find out.
people are saying that it's because TikTok is a Chinese company. It's a Chinese app, and that's why the Americans are not happy with the growth. We know that Donald Trump was going after them at some point in time and everything. But you see, I don't want to find out if it's true or not, if they are lying. I deleted the thing, deleted the history, deleted everything.
Thing, I'm sorry,
you know?
I don't even know how to use it. I've never tried it. I don't know how it looks like.
So
maybe I've just never been interested.
it's actually a nice app because again, some of the features have now been copied by Instagram and even YouTube. You know, that's why YouTube is promoting shorts now, because TikTok is about short videos. They also go live. People can buy emojis and stuff to support the person that is going live. You can make money off it, apart from money that they pay the the owners of the accounts. You know, they can also make money selling things and all. You know, nice app and all. But when I heard about the data breach and all, I beg, I
Let's just
deleted it.
be day in our day.
So again, we are just advising that if the European Commission has gone this far, maybe it's time for people to just, you know, look into it and take your own
Let's
decisions.
just
But
be
for me,
careful.
I deleted TikTok a
Let's just
long
be
time
careful.
ago.
Okay, quickly. Newcastle United fans are now raising money in support of a child's charity in memory of Christian Atsu, a former player who had died in the Turkey-Syria earthquake.
It's a sad story, but a good story. Christian played for Newcastle, you know, in the past before moving on, and seem to be the ones that really trying to keep his memories
Memories
alive.
alive, yeah.
Now, yes, Christian Atsu is gone. I think his body arrived Ghana a few days ago.
Yeah, he did.
I know. Now, in his death, it will still be blessing people. It will still be the one that, for his sake, some, you know, kids will get to go to
Get to
school
school.
and all of that. Maybe the school is brought closer to some people and all of that. You know, still a sad story seeing how the earthquake in Turkey and Syria
They're
just
very devastating,
just
issues.
shut down and, you know, messed up a lot of things for a lot of people. But I'm glad that from that rubble is coming a story of a fan drive, you know, to build a school in honor of Christian Atsu.
Yeah. Quickly, the Africa Cup of Nations under 20 that is ongoing. Nigeria has now finally won their first game. They lost the first game they had. Now they've won the first game against Egypt.
Yeah.
I think that's good news.
Yeah, good news after losing the first game against Senegal. A lot of people are writing them off. Better also in that story is how the guy who scored, you know, is a guy who plays in the TCC league in Lagos here. Is not one, you know, guy that was brought from one place or the other. And that's the beauty of this kind of tournaments, to throw up and allow new talents to shine through.
Yes. Now, before we go quickly, Nigerian musician Rema's Calm Down, yeah, has now become the second highest charting Afrobeat song on Billboard Hot 100.
Yes, that song keeps growing. The funny thing about it is that the remix is doing great numbers too.
Yeah.
You know, the remix with, what's her name again?
Selena Gomez.
Selena Gomez.
It's on number 25.
Yeah. You know, so a big shout out to Rema. I think he really got this one. You know, when you see
I totally
the
agree.
way this song is received across the globe.
It has entered its 27th week.
Yeah.
I think that's huge. That's huge.
We
That's
didn't
some huge
think that
numbers.
after Essence spent so many years that there was going to be another Afrobeats song that would move so fast and is going close to that record.
Quickly before we go, wanted to put it out there. Sorry, I completely forgot about this story where Action Alliance has now said that they're going to boycott the February 25 polls over INEC's exclusion of his candidates.
This might sound like an important story, but I hope this will not be something that will come back to cause problems for the whole electoral process. It's a duly registered party, and for some reason or the other, they were excluded. They went to court. The court ordered that they be allowed to contest. For some reason or the other, I think INEC did not have their name. We've not heard from INEC's side, but this is the story of
the very dangerous thing
Action Alliance
that INEC is doing, because, like you said, this can truncate the whole system. A court can say that they should have added them, and they already disenfranchised them. This can really, really mess up a whole lot of things. I think that INEC really, really needs to look into this thing. Sadly, I think that
it's too late for them to look into it. The only thing now is that it does not come back to be some kind of albatross or something on the elections. Yeah,
the whole elections, and for people in Nigeria or coming into Nigeria to vote, as we've seen, on social media, the Inspector General of Police has officially ordered a restriction of all forms of vehicular movement on roads, waterways, and other forms of transportation between 12 midnight and 6 p.m. on election day, with the exception of those in the essential services such as INEC officials, election observers, the press, ambulances, firefighters, and security people, amongst others.
So, although we know it's just one day, we like to encourage people, to stock up, on supplies so that at least you're not found wanting.
Exactly. So really, let's just put it out there. Now, on that note, that is all we're able to take today on the Boom Bar. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. We'll be back again tomorrow. Tomorrow will be officially the day before the elections.
Yes.
Yeah. So that will be. I'm sure a lot of things will also pop up.
Here and
Hopefully, there's updates on some of the stories that we spoke about today. So thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you very much for all the comments. We'll be back again tomorrow at 3 p.m. West African time to give you another wonderful edition of The Bar. Do have a beautiful, beautiful day ahead.